Welcome to another Health Announcement Spotlight. I'm Jody Tropiano, Health's Head of Content for Health, and I have the pleasure of being here with Lindsay Krieger, Director at Inflect Health, who has some exciting news to share with us today. Thanks for being here, Lindsay.
Thanks for having me, Jody.
So let's get right into it. Can you tell us a little bit more about Inflect Health? How would you define your organization?
Yeah, absolutely. So Inflect Health is the innovation hub of an organization called Vituity. And Vituity is one of the largest, if not the largest, physician partnership in the country. So it's really unique. All of our doctors are equal owners across the country. We have almost 3,000 doctors that practice in practically every state at this point, and they really drive their own clinical practice and take a lot of pride in innovating within the space. So a few years ago, it was strategically determined that we needed our own innovation hub, and I got lucky enough to be part of creating that with our two executives, Rick and Andrew. And Inflect Health is really that. It's a hub for innovation within healthcare. It's a really unique space we get to be in because we want to bring technology to health, but we're also on the front lines of healthcare every day. These are emergency medicine doctors, these are urgent care doctors, hospitalists, the neurologist taking care of your strokes in the middle of the night. Like, we have a lot of day-to-day experience with healthcare, but we also have this vision for what we want it to be and how we want to make it better. And so Inflect Health is really that space where we can invest and innovate and bring together these different parties to really transform healthcare.
Sounds exciting. So I imagine you work with a ton of startups. What's Inflex's philosophy of how to best prepare these health tech startups for success?
Yeah, so we love working with startups. We have a great portfolio. We're so excited about a lot of the companies in that, and we want to bring new companies in. So our philosophy is really about being curious about healthcare. I think one thing that we have come across is that there's so many other great industries that have innovated, and they take those experiences and say, oh, we'll just apply it to health. But healthcare is really complicated. It's very backwards a lot of times, unfortunately. And so we want our startups to be passionate. We want them to have a why, why are you trying to innovate in healthcare? But we also want them to be curious and realize that we can help and bring a lot of experience to the complexities of that healthcare space. And sort of that relationship really helps when you're curious and passionate, but also driven and focused on, meeting your goals and accomplishments.
Great. And so what makes your approach unique? Why would a startup choose to seek out the help of Inflect Health?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many great, incubators and accelerators out there. What we really like to focus on is bringing that clinical experience and expertise. So I'm not a clinician myself. I am the director of operations and partner really, really closely. Our CEO is a practicing physician, Rick Newell, and we have a lot of amazing physicians on our leadership team and broadly in the field doing the work. So what makes Inflect Health really unique is that we bring this experience of, not, oh, I worked as a nurse 20 years ago. It's like, we are doing it right now. We've lived through the challenges of COVID. We've lived through all the really crazy hardships of what providing healthcare in this country looks like. And so we bring that unique experience to the startups, to the field where we want to innovate, but we want to make sure people understand, it's crazy out there,
The truth. And what advice would you have for startups looking to approach a company like Inflect?
I think, again, be passionate about what you're doing. Bring to us that excitement that you have. I would say, obviously, think about your audience, think about who you're trying to impact. There's really vast differences between trying to, innovate in the direct-to-consumer health market versus trying to innovate in the hospital markets or the payer markets. We work with a whole spectrum of startups, and also we've done a lot of B2B work with our mothership, with Vituity proper. So we know that there's a big difference in how you approach that. So when we work with startups, we really want people to be clear on, who they're trying to target and innovate, but also be open, be compassionate for how complicated this is, be compassionate for the patients and the doctors that are really, on those front lines, and just come with an open mind so we can have conversations, we can iterate, we can pivot, we can be part of it together.
It's great advice. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Lindsay. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having us. We look forward to it.
Thanks.
Bye.